Welcome to Wired Hunt Weekly. I'm Mark Kenyon, and this week we're going to be discussing why I made the tough choice to give up on one of my favorite food plots and let it grow up into weeds. So today I want to share with you a very quick story about a food plot situation I'm dealing with right now. And 4 years ago I came down here to southern Michigan, got permission on a piece of property not only to hunt, but also to plant food plots. And I was very excited to do that. Found a little spot tucked in the timber, cleared it out, got it brush hogged, got it sprayed, got it burnt, turned up the soil, put in the seed, and I had a lush plot of clover and brassicas coming right up, and deer were hitting it right away. Things seemed great. But I soon realized I had a problem. And now 4 years later, I've realized that this problem needs some action, and I've decided to give up on that food plot completely. So why? It's because of a concept that Jeff Sturgis coined in his recent book, Food Plot Success by Design, called attract and repel. Basically what's happening here is I'm attracting deer to this food plot, but then I'm repelling them with my presence. So how's that the case? Well, because of the location of this food plot, I have to pass near it every time I come in or out of 95% of my stand locations on this property. And unfortunately, this is a major issue because deer are coming to this food plot in the mornings and the evenings. So what's happening here is I'm attracting deer to the food, but then my presence, consistently passing by, is educating them and alerting them to human presence. So I end up putting more pressure on these deer because of that food plot. In the end, I've realized it's not worth it. The food is great, but because I'm alerting all these deer to my presence, it's actually hurting my hunting across the entire property versus helping it, which is what I would hope a food plot would do. So, what I had to do today, recently here this spring, is give up on the food plot. I'm letting it grow up into weeds so that I can reclaim this area as a human transition zone versus a deer attraction zone. I think in the long run this is going to be the better choice because I'm going to have less pressured deer and I'll have better success in my other stand locations and other food plots that are away from the areas that I need to pass through. If you've got a situation where you have a food plot that you're consistently spooking deer away of because of your pass-throughs and your travel, you might want to consider doing the same thing. In the end, tracking deer isn't any good at all if you're spooking them away every time you move through. So keep that in mind. I hope that's helpful, and stay wired and hunt.